Bonjour! Dans cette vidéo, on continue avec les adjectifs. So in this video, we're going to do an exercise using these adjectives since there's quite a bit of information to take in. So if we look at our first sentence, la première phrase, David regrette les excursions, right? And then we're going to see what kind of excursions he's not a fan of, right? And so we have two words on the end. We have ennuyeux and long. So we're going to look at the word excursion, and we're going to notice that excursion is feminine and plural. So then I have to look at my words. Ennuyeux, is that an adjective that goes before or after verbs? Well, it's not on my list of those that go before, so it must go after. So I'm going to change my ennuyeux, right, masculine, to ennuyeuse, right? I'm going to change it to feminine and make it plural. Then we have the other adjective, long. And so we want to say, okay, long, is that on my list of ones that go before? Yes, it is. So we're going to take that. We know that excursion is feminine and plural. So we're going to make long feminine and plural. And then we're going to put it in front of our noun. So that has us add longue. David regrette les longues excursions ennuyeuses. So we have both our adjectives that are feminine and plural. On continue. Il cherche une commode pour sa chambre. Okay? So he's looking for une commode. So we're noticing it's feminine and singular. And we have to add these two words. Ancien, right? And it's always given in my masculine singular form. So ancien. And then our other word is autre. And so we have to think to ourselves, ancien. Does that go before or after? Is it on my list of ones that goes before or after? This one is on my list of adjectives that can go before and after. So now I have to think to myself, ancien, what do I mean? So if you look in your ebook, you'll see that ancien before means one thing, ancien means after, or ancien after means something else. So we want ancien, do we want to mean former, which is what it would mean if it came before, or do we want to say like an antique, ancienne, okay? So we want it to be, I lost my paper here. Here we go. I'll let my camera refocus. There we go. So we want ancien, and we want it to mean an antique, right? We don't want to say my former. That wouldn't make any sense. So I'm going to use feminine singular and put ancienne. Try to get this note away. Okay, une commode ancienne. So I made it feminine, left it singular, because commode is une, feminine singular. Then I have the word autre, and you can see that I added it before. Une autre, because it's on my list of before, and I don't have to worry about whether it's masculine or feminine. It always stays the same. Autre, always A-U-T-R-E. Ok, on continue. Julie. Une femme amène un tapis pour le séjour. Right? So we're talking about Julie, and we want to talk about what kind of femme, what kind of woman she is. And they want us to use petit and sympathique. So we're going to look at petit and sympathique here. So petit, is it on our list of those that goes before? Yes, it is. So we want to add it before our noun, and we're going to make it feminine, right? Because we have une femme. So I added my E, une petite femme. And then sympathique just goes after. It is not on my list of ones that goes before, so it's just going to go after. It already has an E. We do not need to do anything to make it feminine. So Julie, une petite femme sympathique, amène un tapis pour le séjour. Un autre exemple. Elle porte une chemise, right? She's wearing a blouse here. So une chemise, and we have two words. We have beau and blanc, again, they're giving us the masculine singular. We notice we have une chemise, so we have a feminine singular noun. So we're going to take our first one, beau, but we want it to be feminine singular. How do I make beau feminine singular? Well, it changes to belle. Does it go before or after? It's on my list of before. So I'm going to say, elle porte une belle chemise, and then blanc. What is the feminine singular form of blanc? Right? We learned this when we learned colors, and it is blanche. And it is not on my list of ones that go before, so I'm going to put it after. Elle porte une belle chemise blanche. So of course we're building on the things we learned previously. If you don't remember the adjectives and how we form them and where they go, you need to go back to those chapters and review that so it's fresh in your mind. Ok, quelques autres exemples. Max. Max installe des rideaux dans l'appartement. Right? So he's putting in some curtains. So Max installe, and then we have two adjectives over here. We have long and noir, right? Long and noir. So we want to say des rideaux. So we know we have masculine plural. And so we're going to say long. Does that go before and after? That's on my list of before. So I'm going to use long. I need it to be plural. I'm going to add an S. So we see it before. Max installe de longs rideaux. And then, of course, noir, since it's a color, it's going to go after. And I'm going to add the S to make it plural. Oh, it looks like my dans is missing an S. Dans l'appartement. Okay, so Max installe de longs rideaux noirs dans l'appartement. And then, of course, we notice here that we do have the de longs rideaux because we have an adjective that's coming before our noun. Ok, deux autres exemples, je crois. Ok, Max. Max est un homme, right? We're going to talk about what kind of person he is here. So we have two words, jeune et dynamique. So jeune is on our list of words that go before, but dynamique isn't. So we're going to have un jeune homme dynamique. Now they give us the masculine singular forms before we put it in the sentence, and we're using our noun is masculine and singular, so it means we don't have to do anything. We can just stick jeune homme dynamique. No changes because it's not feminine and it's not plural. Ok, finalement, Emily. Emily apporte les affiches. Okay, so she's bringing some posters here. So les affiches, and then we want to describe them as américain, and then vieux. So affiche, we're going to notice, is une affiche, right? It's feminine, but it's plural here. So it's feminine and plural. So we have américain. So we need to change américain because this is masculine and singular. We need to make it feminine plural. And vieux, we need to do the same thing. We need to make that feminine and plural. So we have américain. We say it's not on my list that it goes before, so I'm going to put it after. But vieux is on my list of those that go before, so I'm going to put that before. Emily, oops, it ended up becoming Émile, but we want Emily. Emily apporte de vieilles affiches américaines. So we notice with vieux, we had to change it to the feminine form, vieille, right? And we had to make it plural. I added an S. With américain, right, I had to add an E to make it feminine and an S to make it plural. So, Emily apporte de vieilles affiches américaines. And again, I have my, I guess I could have left this les, or in my mind it would be some, so we'd say de vieilles affiches américaines. So I'm hoping that going through this exercise helps, that you are realizing that we really need to study these lists of what comes before, everything else comes after. So if you can memorize what comes before, that makes it a lot easier. Plus there's the 5 that can go before and after. You want to have those. And of course you want to keep in mind when you need to change them and make them agree. Make sure if you have any questions, you send me an email and we can clear up any confusion. Merci. Au revoir.